Most people are under the impression that oil is mostly imported from countries like Saudi Arabia and the Middle East. China is a major oil importer. In order to secure their oil strategy, they should not put all their eggs in one basket. So China imports oil from many countries such as Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and Russia. But the surprising thing is that an African country with an underdeveloped economy sold half of its oil exports to China, becoming one of the important sources of Chinese oil imports. This model of cooperation fully guaranteed China's oil supply, but it also caused Biden much resentment, since the U.S. supported this country with billions of dollars and trained many advanced technologies. So why did this African country choose to cooperate with China instead of helping the United States? Let's get to the bottom of this. Angola is a small country on the west coast of Africa. It is also an economically underdeveloped country, and it was once a Spanish colony. After formal independence in 1975, the United States and the Soviet Union struggled for power here. Two factions of domestic political parties, supported by both sides, fought a civil war that lasted 27 years and officially ended only in 2002. However, instead of prosperity, the end of the civil war left Angola in economic straits. Because its domestic economy is almost destroyed, its infrastructure is vulnerable, and its people live in hardship. To solve this dilemma, Angola decided to use its rich natural resources to develop its economy, especially its oil resources. It is a pity that Angola lacks the technology to develop and use these resources. In desperation, Angola can only choose one path: use oil to attract foreign investment and use its above-ground natural resources as collateral to obtain funds. But this, too, is very difficult for Angola, since it once dominated Western countries in terms of oil exports. With the rapid growth of China's economy, the contradiction between oil supply and demand has become increasingly prominent, and China urgently needs to find sufficient and stable oil supply channels. In desperation, Angola has only one option: use oil to attract foreign investment and use its above-ground natural resources as collateral to obtain funds. But this, too, is very difficult for Angola, since it once dominated Western countries in terms of oil exports. At the same time, the oil in Central Asia is also being competed by many countries, and stable supply is not easy to obtain. The oil in Latin America is more expensive and far away. Therefore, Africa has become the focus of China's global oil strategic layout. It is known that China and Angola started energy cooperation in the 1990s. For example, in 1992, the total oil exports from Angola to China were only over 200,000 tons, but by 1993, this figure had increased to over 1.2 million tons. So after the Angolan government announced a policy of attracting foreign investment by relying on oil, the Chinese government and businesses seized the opportunity and offered cooperation with Angola, leading to the Angolan model. To put it simply, it is to exchange local oil for Chinese loans to help Angola achieve economic development as quickly as possible. The implementation of this model will not only contribute to the economic development of Angola, but also contribute to China's energy security and economic development. The cooperation between China and Angola has not only promoted the economic development of Angola, but also stimulated other internationally renowned enterprises and companies to cooperate with Angola. With the exception of some well-known oil companies, they hope to cooperate with Angola in oil production. Norway has also offered to cooperate with Angola in building an aluminum plant, while Japan has offered to build a fertilizer plant and plans to continue investing in the development and extraction of strategic materials such as diamonds and gold in Angola. Since the cooperation between China and Angola, using the Angola model, Angola has surpassed Iran to become China's second largest oil supplier and surpassed Saudi Arabia to become China's largest crude oil supplier in 2010. Now almost half of Angola's oil is sold to China every year, and it has become a barrier to China's oil security. The successful model of cooperation is not only important for China and Angola, but also allows African countries to see China's strength. At the same time, the Angola model has also served as a successful example, providing reference value for cooperation between China and other African countries. Although the successful cooperation between China and Angola has brought huge economic benefits, it has also caused resentment in some countries, especially among some U.S. scientists who view it unfavorably. They believe that China and the United States are competing for the world's oil resources, and China's intervention has taken away from the U.S. U.S., leading to the failure of the United States' plan to get Angola's oil. According to the survey, the United States has provided Angola with more than $630 million in aid funds over the past 20 years to support the country's health system, infrastructure development, and transfer of technical knowledge. In particular, the United States has provided $25 million in aid to Angola to fight malaria and other diseases. In addition, the United States has built much infrastructure in Angola, such as electricity and water supplies, making an important contribution to the country's economic development. At the same time, the United States taught Angola many advanced technologies to help the country rise as quickly as possible. However, in order to develop on its own, Angola has effectively abandoned the U.S., which once helped it, and opted to cooperate with China. Therefore, the U.S. government publicly accused China of investment and cooperation in Angola in the media. Even President Biden accused China's investment of violating international rules and morality at a press conference, believing that China has no regard for morality. In fact, Angola chooses to cooperate with China based on economic and development needs and considerations. Chinese investments and cooperation in Angola are carried out with the aim of developing business and the economy, providing Angola with financial and technical support, and promoting the country's economic development and prosperity. In addition, China's cooperation in Angola has also helped the country improve its infrastructure and social welfare and promoted the country's stability and development. Although the United States once provided aid and support to Angola, this does not mean that Angola must be loyal to the United States and give up its own development and prosperity. Angola chooses to cooperate with China based on its own interests and needs, which is a reasonable choice and decision. Therefore, the U.S. government's accusations against China regarding investment and cooperation in Angola are a violation of international rules and morality. Whether it is reasonable requires us to think deeply and discuss it. Regarding this question, what do you guys think? Welcome to leave a message in the comment area below.